He has made it known to you, O man. But here you are, intentionally acting confused because you don't want to hear what you hear. God sent me to say to you tonight, you cannot win in a waiting contest with His Majesty. You can't. Wisdom speaks on this wise. If you are waiting for God and God is waiting for you, you stop the wait and go meet Him. Wisdom speaks on this wise. Yes, you don't want to marry him. He doesn't check a number of boxes for you. But as my father in the Lord used to say, the trouble with arrogating the right of decision making in matters of marriage absolutely to yourself and taking it away from God is that marriage is about the future and you have not been there. You know you have not been there. That person that you so want to get married to, everything you know about that person omits a particular tense, the future tense. The bulk of what you know about the person is called history. What you don't know about the person is called destiny. So God say yes. You say no, sir. Not so, Lord. Not so, Lord. It does not meet your criteria. And I'm not saying this to bully you. No. I'm just saying this to put you on notice. That when you lock horns with God in a war, you can never win. No matter what the war is. You know how they say Jacob wrestled with the Lord. He wrestled with God. He is just a manner of speaking. I told you before. When it was daybreak and the angel said, let me go. Because the day is about to break. Jacob said, I won't let you go until you bless me. Fight. Wrestle. Jacob was wrestling with an angel. Do you know what one angel can do? 188 people were destroyed by one angel. And all of them died before they knew what hit them. And these were not civilians. They were the military of the enemy of Israel. Then one man said he was fighting with an angel overnight. And in case you think, I'm not stretching it. All the angel needed to do was to touch Jacob. Do you remember? The angel touched Jacob. And when the angel touched Jacob, the hip bone went out of joint. Touch. Not tap. Touch. The angel didn't tap. Touched. Now what will happen if the angel are hit? If a touch could dislocate that man's joint till he died, he carried the souvenir of that night. He carried the souvenir of that night. So he had a limp. That was why he needed to lean now on his walking stick till he died. So, fine guy, what happened to you? I was touched. I was touched. Excuse me, man. If angel touched Jacob and his hip went out of joint, why did they say he was wrestling? He was wrestling overnight with an angel. He was wrestling. And the angel even said, let me go. And Jacob said, I won't let you go. Wrestle. Wrestle, okay. Sir, if you engage in war with God, you can't win. And your life will never be at peace until you come to peace with the purposes of God for you. To every child of God, God says, my grace is sufficient for you. You. The grace I release for you will not do for this man, but it is sufficient for you. Huh? Because I know the you that I made. I customize grace that is sufficient for that you. When you have become a mutant, the grace will no longer suffice. Because what this grace is dealing with was not what it was designed to deal with. And you were the one that made the change. And I've told you, because I keep seeing this matter of marriage again and again and again in my spirit's eye. I told you, the problem a lot of people think they have is the pronouncement of God concerning marriage. But that is never the problem. God cannot be wrong in his declarations and dictates. The problem that people have is their practice and procedure in marriage. When you get married to an absolutely wrong person, you cannot blame God that the principles of marriage are difficult to apply. You can't. You can't blame God. So let's make for him a help that is meet for him. Meet for him. Not a help that is meet for men. Meet for him. Whatever you make out of that. What I can tell you definitively is that there's somebody you should never marry. Whether there's only one person you can marry or 3 people that you can possibly marry and it will work. I don't want to go into that this evening, but I can tell you that there's somebody you should absolutely not marry. And I'm talking about believers.